All right, Eric, just come on in and have a seat right there. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just take a moment and fill this out, and then I'll be back in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Okie dokie. All righty. So, I see on here that you want to work on today driving phobia. Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, whenever I start attempting to drive, everything closes in. I start getting really short of breath, really anxious. I start like white knuckling, start like clenching up, and I start like everything gets really fuzzy around the edges, and I can't see cars. I can only see what's right in front of me. So.
And how long have you had this problem?
It only happens in the city. Like, I can drive out in the country, I can drive go-karts, I can do golf carts, everything else like that. It only happens when it's in the city. So.
Now, does it happen when there's lots of traffic or just any kind of traffic?
Any kind of traffic, really.
And how long have you had this problem?
Since I started driving, since I was about 16.
Okay.
So.
And were you ever involved in a car accident or anything of that nature?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't remember anything when I was a little kid or anything else like that. I've been in a few accidents after.
Okay.
But that was, I was a passenger and my buddy slipped on black ice and almost went to a ditch, but that gave me a phobia of riding with him, not actually driving. So.
Okay. All right. So, what is it that you would like to accomplish through the session? How do you want to feel when you're in a vehicle?
I want to feel comfortable.
Okay. And when you say comfortable, what do you mean by that?
I don't want to feel, I guess I could compare it to claustrophobia, really. I feel like everything's just closing in around me, and I feel like I'm just getting shoved into a tiny box. And I don't feel like I'm in control of anything when I'm driving.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you want to feel comfortable, you want to feel in control. What else?
I just want it to feel natural. It doesn't feel natural at all. It actually feels like I'm piloting something that's just has a mind of its own. So I'm like, because I hear people talking about it, it's an extension of themselves. They feel really comfortable and they're just natural at it. I feel like a duck out of water. So.
Okay. When you get into a car, do you drive at all now?
No. Not at all, no.
Okay, and has not having a car and driving, has that created a problem for you?
Not driving, yes. I can't get anywhere any reasonable amount of time that I would like to. Typically when I want to go somewhere, it's got to be right then and there. And it's become really bothersome now, because I notice it's like, I feel kind of left behind, because everybody can drive. Even my little sister can drive. Not too good, but even still.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Whenever I want to go out and do something, I have to either depend on somebody else, or I have to walk, or I have to use my bike. Bike, not a big deal. I just don't want to be all nice and nasty. It's sweaty when I get there, so.
Okay.
It'll be very beneficial for me if I could drive.
Okay. So would the ability to, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would the ability to comfortably drive, would that create some freedom for you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Then I want to be able to do certain things like pick up my girlfriend's kid from school and everything else like that. And whenever she's having a really rough day, be able to go and do stuff for her or anything else like that. Be able to help other people in my life instead of having to depend on them.
Okay. So it sounds like also being independent.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of being dependent on others. Okay. All right. Anything else that comes to mind around this that you would like to address?
The only thing I can really think of that would have scarred me would have been my grandma when she got into a car accident.
Tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I was raised by my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
And she got into a really bad car accident.
How old were you?
6?
Okay.
5 or 6.
Were you in the car?
No. She was going to do something. It was late at night, and she drove into a ditch and had a neck brace on and everything else like that. She was really torn up for about a couple of weeks. I was always by her side sitting there, and she couldn't drive for a while afterwards. So
uh-huh.
Like,
when you say she couldn't drive, she physically couldn't drive, or she was afraid to drive?
both.
Okay.
Like she had the neck brace on for two weeks. And her chiropractor also said, no, you are not driving.
Okay.
And she was a little bit skittish too after that anyways.
Oh, okay. So you saw a similar behavior, is it, to what you're demonstrating? Would you say that some of the behaviors you're demonstrating are similar to what your grandmother did?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Except my grandma still would drive, just she was a lot more careful and cautious of everything around her.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you think we should know before we start?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. So the intention today is to clear your fear and phobia around driving.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal will be, now, one of the things when we're dealing with clearing a fear or phobia, we want to test the waters fairly quickly so we know how well you're doing. And will you have an opportunity to do so over the next few days?
Yeah, actually, I'll go home and just see if I can take the car around the block or something like that. Or
okay.
I'll talk to my roommate, because he's been wanting to get me to drive, but when he saw how bad I get, he's like,
Okay.
So
okay.
he heard I was coming here today, and he's like, well, we'll see how it works.
Okay, excellent. So you'll be able to actually just put it to the test and then let me know how you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So there's a lever on that side of the chair. If you'll just flip that up. I will ask you if you wouldn't mind removing your cap. That way I can see a little bit better. And basically, as we go along, you just follow along and just go with the process. Know that however you experience it will be perfect. Okay?
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put some music on just in the background. So I want you just to take in a nice big deep breath. Good. Know that with each breath you take in, you're taking in positive energy. With each breath you release, you let go of any tension, any negativity stored in your body. Allowing yourself to relax completely and to let go. Taking in a breath, and as you release it, good. You let all the muscles in your head and shoulders. Relax and soften. And now with another deep breath in. As you release it, you let all the muscles in your arms relax and let go, allowing yourself to sink deeper and deeper down. Know that as we continue, if you feel a need to move around, any of that movement will simply help you to relax even more. And now with another deep breath in, as you release it, you let all the muscles in your chest and stomach all the way down through your legs relax and soften. So calm, so peaceful, so at ease. As we continue, allow yourself to stay very focused in on my voice, your own deep breathing, and the sound of the music. If at any time you find yourself becoming aware of other sounds or movements inside or outside of this room, any of that awareness will simply help you to relax even more and to sink deeper and deeper down. I'd like you to imagine and just pretend, if you need to, that you're falling back into a big, white, fluffy cloud. This cloud supports you completely. You're completely safe. And as you begin to sink down into the softness of the cloud, you find yourself relaxing even more and sinking deeper and deeper down. Here on this cloud, you're far away from all the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and you can relax and let go. As you continue to drift and float on this cloud, you might notice other clouds close by. A beautiful blue sky above you. And then your attention is drawn towards the sun. As you focus in on the sun, you notice it's a perfect temperature. And imagine now that there are streams of golden sunlight flowing down, over, and through your body. And as that golden light flows down and through your body, you find yourself relaxing even more. That golden light starts at the top of your head and begins to flow down your forehead and behind your eyes, soothing, relaxing your eyes, And then the golden light flows down your cheeks and through your jaw, and then down through your chin. And you can feel all the muscles in your head and face softening, relaxing. The golden light flows down through your neck and throat, and then it seeps into your shoulders, gently massaging all the muscles there in your shoulders. It might even feel as though a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders, and you sink even deeper and deeper down. Want that to happen? Allow that to happen. Good. You're doing very well. That golden sunlight now flows from your shoulders down through your back, soothing all the muscles in your back, allowing you to relax even more. From your shoulders, that liquid golden light now flows down each arm, down through your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, all the way down through the tips of your fingers, allowing you to let go even more and to sink deeper and deeper down. The golden light now flows into your chest, filling your heart and your lungs. Good. Allowing you to breathe even deeper and more relaxed. Excellent. You're doing very well. That golden light now flows from your chest to your stomach, to your pelvis. It spreads to your hips, down through your thighs, down through your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, all the way down through the tips of your toes. Allowing you to relax even more. Now in just a moment, I'm going to begin to count down, and with each descending number, your level of relaxation will double. Want that to happen? Allow that to happen. I'd like you to imagine, and just pretend if you need to, that there's a number 5 just kind of floating out in mid-air in front of you, just outside of your reach. And when you can imagine that number 5, pretend if you need to, just nod your head. Good. Thank you. Now, as you focus in on that number 5, I want you to take in a nice big deep breath. And as you release the breath, direct it towards the number 5 as if you were blowing that number away. And as it moves away from you, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it completely disappears. And you sink deeper and deeper down. And now imagine a number 4. Once again, it's right out there in front of you, just beyond your reach. You focus in on it. You take in a deep breath. You release the breath, sending the number 4 away from you. And as it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, it completely disappears. And you sink deeper and deeper down. Now imagine a number 3. You remember what a number 3 looks like. And imagine that number 3 right out there in front of you, just outside of your reach. You could almost touch it. And then, with your breath, you take in a breath. And you release the breath, sending the number 3 away from you. And as it begins to float away from you, as it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And now imagine a number 2. It's right there in front of you, just beyond your reach. You take in a deep breath. You release the breath. And you send that number 2 completely away from you. And as it drifts away from you, it begins to get smaller and smaller and smaller until it completely disappears. And now imagine a number 1. Just there, drifting, floating, and then with your breath, with your intention, you send it away. And as it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, you go deeper and deeper and deeper. Now I'm going to ask the subconscious to continue the deepening process, reaching and maintaining the most beneficial level of relaxation throughout this session. The intention of this session is to clear, to remove, release, and resolve the fear, the phobia around driving. And so we're going to ask your subconscious to assist with this process. And I'd like you to imagine now that this cloud you're on is almost like a magic carpet. And it brings you down to someplace out in nature where you're on a path. This path could be in the mountains, it could be at the beach. It's a path that you're walking on. And as you begin to walk on that path, periodically you notice the landscape around you and that there are things on the path that might be in your way, that keep you from moving forward. There may be rocks or trees, limbs, or whatever it may be. And you just take the time and move those things out of your way. And then you continue on your path. As you maneuver down this path, you realize that this path is moving you forward, that there's something that you are interested in achieving. And so with each step you take, you realize you are committed. Your intention is to move forward in your life, on your path, on your journey. However, there have been some limitations in your life. And one of those limitations has been your fear related to driving a car. You find yourself continuing to walk, and then you come around a bend, and there, right in the middle of your path, is a wall. A wall that is keeping you from moving forward. Somehow you know on the other side of that wall is your life of freedom, of independence. A life where you're able to drive a car comfortably, feeling in control, and feeling like it's something very natural for you to do. This wall that's keeping you from that is built from experiences, thoughts, feelings, whatever it may be, that's keeping you feeling anxious, uncomfortable, short of breath at times, feeling unsafe when driving. And so I'm going to ask the subconscious to assist you in whatever way you choose in dismantling that wall. Before you begin to dismantle the wall, just take a moment and think about, feel what it's going to be like when you get on the other side of that wall. There's a whole world waiting for you. Independence, freedom, the ability to help others in running errands. All kinds of opportunities are awaiting you on the other side of this wall of fear. So I'm going to ask your subconscious, any way that you choose to become free from that fear, which means either dismantling the wall completely, creating an opening in the wall, however you choose to do that, I'm going to ask the subconscious to assist you now. And I'll be still for a few moments while you and your subconscious and whatever assistance you choose finds a way over, through, around that wall, dismantling the fear and all the causes and reasons for that fear. As the subconscious does so, you may find that you become aware of how that wall got built. Or you may just choose to dismantle the wall, knowing that your subconscious is completely there to support you in removing, releasing, resolving all the negativity related to your fear of driving and all the causes and reasons. Once you are on the other side of the wall, take as much time as you need. Simply nod your head. Thank you. Know that being beyond your fear of the past, that was then and this is now, and now you are comfortable, you're in control, it feels natural for you to drive, and you experience the independence and the freedom of being in control and comfortable with driving a car in any situation. And I'm going to ask the subconscious to reinforce this new confidence in your ability to drive comfortably. It's natural for you to drive, that you feel in control, and you recognize the freedom and the independence that is now yours as you drive in the city, in the country, wherever it may be, and you recognize all the benefits that come with driving. And you're pleased with your self-confidence, your independence, and your ability to be comfortable at all times. When you're driving, always safe, always mindful. It's natural for you to drive safely and confidently. Now I'm going to ask the subconscious over the next few days, during dreaming or any other time that is beneficial and harmonious to your well-being. If there's anything else to be cleared away regarding your ability to confidently, comfortably, naturally drive safely, if there's anything else that needs to be cleared away, the subconscious will do so in a very safe and comfortable way. And every time the subconscious removes a block or barrier to your ability to drive comfortably and safely, it will always replace it with light, with peace, and self-confidence. In just a moment, I'm going to count you back up. As you return from your experience, you'll bring back with you everything, able to recall it easily. As one, feeling is returning to your arms and legs. All tension and negativity has been released. 2, all energies in complete balance etheric body closed. 3, feeling more confident, more in control, realizing things that used to bother you in the past has been removed, released, resolved. 4, you're able to see more clearly all the things you need to see. Your eyes feel as though they've been bathed in cool, clear water. 5, recognizing you truly are free from your fear of driving, feeling confident, independent, eager for the freedom that now comes with driving safely. Your eyes open, fully aware. So tell me about your experience. What were you aware of?
I don't remember the first part, really.
You don't remember the first part? What do you mean?
I remember you talking about relaxation. The part that really hit was the cloud. I felt myself kind of just sink into the cloud. The numbers, though. The numbers are what did it. I was like, 5. Okay. I felt my entire body just start to like leave itself. It was very nice.
Good.
Walking down the path, felt like my legs were walking. I felt just like the blocks in my way were literal like huge cement blocks.
The wall was made of cement blocks, or those were prior to getting to the wall?
Those were prior to getting to the wall.
Okay, good.
Even just getting to the wall, I went around, like, there was huge trees, and they were far off in the distance, otherwise it was kind of a few trees here, a few trees there, grass, dirt road, and whenever I'd see one of those bricks, I would turn into like this little cartoon character with a really, really big hammer. And I'd just start beating away at it.
Good. Excellent.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when you mentioned me driving, a huge car would fall out of the sky, get in my way in the road, and I'd just take the hammer and smash all the way through it and continue to go on. When I got to the wall, it was huge. Again, cartoonish. The wall was stretched as far as it could. It didn't go outside of the road, though.
Okay.
Really. I could have easily walked around it, but I just got so much more joy of actually taking a really big hammer.
Okay.
Like, there was multiple versions of myself that came in.
Okay.
Because there was one that actually literally my lazy self just kind of sat there in front of the wall. I was like, okay, I'm going to rest here for a while. There was another side of me that came up, started putting like little cartoon bombs everywhere, and tried to blow up the wall, didn't move. So then I guess the actual side of me that really wants to drive apparently came up, and just went to town on the wall. It was classic little cartoon boy with a hammer just going to town on something.
Excellent.
The wall just kept going down in levels and just kept smashing through it. Eventually I got to a manageable size, and there was like a little open V part. It was just like a brick wall. So all the parts that I smashed just disappeared, though.
Okay.
And I was able to step through the wall. I turned around and said, no, I'm not done. Completely smashed the rest of it.
Good. Excellent. Good job.
Well, I smashed the right side of it. And then the other side, I just put a whole bunch of explosives on it and walked away. And went, okay, boom. So then when you said I was very comfortable with driving and everything else like that. I could actually see myself in the car and everything else like that and whatnot. And it was very empowering. I was like, oh, yes, I can do this.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. Good. Anything else you were aware of?
No, my body, I was like, my body was really resistant. I could feel myself wanting to go, no, just go away. But part of me is just like, just stay here and just accept it because you're going to have to do it. So.
Okay. I want you to complete the statement. I now feel as if
I'm more confident. I can drive. And I won't let things like that hinder my life anymore.
excellent. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how valuable was this for you?
It was pretty powerful. I'd say probably a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
So this one was odd. This was the first one I've actually first time I've gone into hypnosis story. I've actually had all the imagery go with it. And I haven't gone completely out in the left field.
Okay.
Typically I just go into left field, my subconscious messes around, and I come back and I'm like, okay, cool. It didn't feel like I was here though. It felt like I was somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time I actually got all the imagery and everything else.
Okay.
It was definitely very, very powerful.
Excellent, excellent. Anything else you need to feel complete today?
No. Right now, just really hungry and really thirsty. So.
Okay. All right. That's okay. So you're going to go and test the waters, and you're going to get back to me and let me know how you do, right?
Of course.
All right. Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was awesome. I just don't know if I want to move from this chair.
Well, that's pretty common. That's pretty natural. But why don't we go ahead and have you sit up and just make sure you're ready to move. Just make sure you're all...
I noticed when I came back in my body this time, it was a whole lot easier.
Okay.
Normally I shake in and I shake out, and I'm just like, ugh.
Okay.
This time it was nice, gradual. I could feel everything come back. I was like, okay, we're good. So, thank you.
Thank you. That was great.